Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Aditya Eka Putra, and this time I want to talk about the importance of reading. Okay, reading is very important thing for someone because by reading we can find out various things that we didn't know before. By reading, we will have more experience compared to people who do not read. However, in this modern era, interest in reading is very low, especially among teenagers. They spend more time with their phones than reading. Many individuals grumble about not having enough time to read books. In fact, they admit that books are portals to the rest of the world. Various reasons arise why a person doesn't have time to read books. There are reasons that they are busy with work, find it difficult to gather interest, and are more interested in doing other things. Even though reading is very important, especially for young people as future leaders and also especially for us as Muslims. The first revelation, which was in the form of dialogue between the angel Jibril and Prophet Muhammad, by definition marked the beginning of leadership and portrayed the seminal idea of literacy. It also suggests that a critical dialogue is essential of developing leadership. In other words, in Islam, literacy is an absolute necessity for leadership. According to Tempo, Indonesians only read for 2 to 4 hours every day. According to Sharif Bando, the head of the Center for Library Development and Reading Interest at the National Library of Indonesia, in fact, UNESCO has established a reading time need of at least 4 to 6 hours every day. Meanwhile, most industrialized countries have a reading habit of 6 to 8 hours per day on average. So we should instill an interest in reading from childhood so that it becomes a good habit for us. Because by reading, we can expand our way of thinking. We must really get used to reading, otherwise we will be left behind. Reading is very important and very influential for our lives and also affects young people who will determine what the Indonesian nation will be like in the future. If we get used to reading, our brains will get used to coming up with new ideas. If you encounter a very intellectual man, ask him what books he reads, stated Ralph Waldo Emerson, an American poet. This quotation supports the idea that the more books we read, the more we will learn. And by reading, we can increase knowledge and improve our brain intelligence and help us to find a bright future. And we must first understand what the purpose of our study is, so that our reading motivation will be higher, and look for good references in fostering reading motivation so that knowledge is more structured. Okay, I think that's all from me. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.